Hi, I'm Wim Newton. My dad, when I was a teenager getting ready to go out for the night, stopped me and he said, Wim, remember, trust is one of those things that may take a lifetime to develop and only a moment to lose. That was his very stern warning about being very careful about doing anything that would violate his trust. And so I was very cautious. This is the first of 2 videos regarding trust. I hope that you will enjoy what I'm ready to present. And if you do, please subscribe to this channel. So let's talk about trust. We are in a trust crisis right now. It's one of those things that's in very high demand, but it seems to be in low supply, whether it be countries against countries, within our own nation, not trusting governments, whether it be national or local. Begin to question our law enforcement, our medical communities, even our religious organizations are under scrutiny as to whether or not they can be trusted or not. It is sad how little we are able to trust right now. You may even have your own personal list of people that you can trust and people that you can't trust. What's really sad is that if we stop and look at trust, it really is an issue of safety. If I don't trust you, I'm not going to feel safe with you. If you aren't treating me safely, then I'm not going to trust you. And that can also directly communicate to me whether or not you love me or not. That's how important trust is. There are a number of cases that are coming into my office and the counselors that I know where anxiety and trust are directly connected. If I am not trusting things around me, then I'm going to start creating or having anxiety. When this pandemic first started, I remember thinking, oh no, we're going to be in trouble. Because I knew that if the world is not safe, if all of a sudden these kids started looking around and on the news and social media, everything was being said about how dangerous it is. They were experiencing their parents getting sick, maybe even dying. They all have face masks on. They have to be secluded into their own homes. These children were going to not have the capacity to kind of deal with that. Some adults don't have the capacity to deal with that. And so I knew that we were getting ready to hit a tsunami as regarding mental health issues for kids. And now this is being videoed in January of 2022. It's been over 2 years now, and counselors, mental health professionals are seeing just, like I said, a tsunami of mental health issues. I talked to a pediatrician just the other day who said she had never seen, and she'd been in practice for over 40 years, she had never seen such a number of teenagers dealing with cutting or eating disorders or attempted suicide. I mean, it's just amazing because their world isn't safe and they are in high anxiety. You know, without trust, one of the side effects of that is you really can't get close to people because you have to trust them to get close. And if you can't get close, you can't be intimate with them. I'm not talking about sexual intimacy. I'm talking about being vulnerable, being open, letting somebody really get to know you and you know them. And you have to be safe in order to do that. And so because for whatever reason, somebody might not have that ability or struggles with feeling safe with people, they keep them at arm's length. They keep them at a distance. They become very suspicious. They're hypervigilant. They're always got their head on a swivel wondering who is after them or what is around them or can I really trust this person or not? Trauma, if they've had trauma in their life, that is one of the major causes for that hypervigilance. but it's taking place with people just because they've had violation after violation after violation of trust. Something is going on. And sometimes they don't even trust themselves. I've talked to many a spouse who had been blindsided by their partner's affairs or cheating in finances or whatever the case is. And they did not read the signals. And so they do not only trust their partner, but they don't trust themselves. And so that's really hard as well, when you can't even trust yourself enough to make wise decisions. You know, some people believe that trust is an on-off switch, that you either trust somebody all the way or you don't. It's all or nothing. You know, I want to challenge that if that is the kind of belief that you have regarding trust. There was a paragraph in the book called The DNA of Relationship, and it was by in marriage, DNA of Relationship in Marriage by Greg Smalley. And in that, there is a quote that I dearly love, because it really, especially one particular phrase that I really want to highlight, emphasizes what I think, how you need to look at trust. He says, you are trustworthy when you fully grasp how valuable and vulnerable another person is. I want you to listen to that again. You are trustworthy when you fully grasp how truly valuable and vulnerable another person is. And you treat that person accordingly. To the extent that you treat that person as precious and irreplaceable, you are trustworthy. And to the extent you don't, you're not. Now, to the extent. One of the things that I do in my office is I have a bear. And I suggest to them that this is my heart. A lot of people, when they get into relationships, what are the things that they do? They believe that in order to have a relationship, I've got to give that person my heart fully. Hand it over to them. When that comes out in my office, I often ask them, okay, so when you give that over to them, who now is responsible for that heart? Are you responsible for that heart? And they often say, well, no, because I've given it to them. That's right. And the reality is they don't even know how to take care of their own heart, let alone take care of a stranger's heart. Now, what happens is, if that is the way they look at a relationship and how it's supposed to develop, what will take place is that that person sooner or later will not be trustworthy. They won't take care of that heart. And this person who had so recklessly given it to this other person will just rail against them, get angry at them. I told you to treat my heart a so-and-so way. I told you what my love language was, and you're not doing it. You better take better care of my heart. And then they'll throw it right back in their lap and say, you take care of it. And then when that person fails again, because no one is 100% trustworthy, what they're going to do is they're going to say, that's it, I'm through. They're going to take that heart and they're going to put it behind them. And now they're in protection mode. You are not going to get close to it. You see that with people who cut off relationships, just, nope, that's it, I'm done. I'm not going to get there. Because they haven't grasped the idea of, to the extent that that person proves to be trustworthy, that's how much I can trust them. In other words, it's like this. I'm going to watch you. And if I want a relationship with you, to the extent that you treat me as though I'm valuable and that I'm going to be vulnerable to you, and you treat me this way, I'm going to trust you to that extent. And you keep doing it, I'm going to trust you more. I'm going to trust you more. I'm going to trust you more. And pretty soon, I may have my heart way out there. And but who's got control of it? I do. I still am responsible for my heart. And yes, you're responsible to, but not responsible for. You're responsible to treat me accordingly, to treat me with respect, to value. But you're not responsible for my heart. I've got to be responsible for that. And so when you mess up, which you will, I'm going to pull my heart back to the extent that I feel safe again. I don't have to hide it. And now I can give you an opportunity to rebuild that trust. And if you want, you can. And we rebuild it. And then I do something stupid, and you have to pull back your heart just a little bit to the degree that you feel safe again. So I think healthy relationships are much more like this, than all or nothing. I look at really trust more like an equalizer bar. You got all these things going up and down. I trust my wife implicitly. And so if I looked at my equalizer bar, it would have all these high peaks. I trust her to love me and to be faithful, totally faithful to me. I trust her to speak highly of me in public. I trust her to be very frugal with finances and to provide healthy meals for us. I mean, she does all of these things. And when we had kids in the house, did I trust her to be the hardline disciplinarian? Zip. No, she couldn't do it. She really leaned on me to be able to do that. But notice that all these other things that I trust, but this is one area that maybe I don't trust so much. Trust is more than an on-off switch. It is much more complicated than that. And so the next video I want to talk to you about is how to build trust and how to destroy trust. So I hope you'll join me for the next part of this video. And if you like it, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.